Mr. Musk was surely right when he stood for the dominance of battery electric vehicles towards combustion engines. But one question was totally ignored. Where does the electricity come from? Today we talk about the new Tesla model versus the Toyota Mirai. And we are taking a deep dive into technology, and on the other side we are looking at mobility as such. And now the car just told me that the traffic light is green. Because even though a car is much more than just a mode of transportation, the purpose mostly is to reach a destination in a comfortable way. I am not paid for a car review, and I do not intend to copy the glorifying commercial style of typical car videos. The result is going to be very surprising. The scenes will change between the test drive with the Tesla Model S and the Toyota Mirai concerning the broad idea of mobility, from bikes over the first production car, the Ford Model T, to trains, autonomous driving and shared mobility. At the end, I will share my personal opinion on mobility in these two cars. The history of mobility is a fascinating journey through innovations and technological advancements significantly impacting the weight of transportation modes per person. Let's explore this progression. We have skipping, walking, horseback riding and cars. The bike. The invention of the bicycle in the early 19th century revolutionized personal mobility. Early bicycles such as the penny farthing weighed about 15 to 20 kilos. The advent of motor vehicles, where we are right now. The Toyota Mirai is lighter than the Tesla Model S with 1,950 kilogram, about 200 kilogram less. Quoting Wikipedia, the Ford Model T had a weight about 600 kilograms. So the Mirai comes to 487 kilograms of engine per person, if you consider this a 4-person vehicle. This is 25 times the weight of a bike, for instance. Statistically, only 1.5% drive these 4-person vehicles. This results to 1,300 kg per person. Okay, let's compare some technical data. Electric vehicle driver pays about 69 cents per kilowatt hour at an electric charger which has an acceptable load. For hydrogen, you pay between 41 and 50 cents, so a little less per kilowatt hour. The primary energy factor is not CO2 neutral, because when you charge this electric vehicle in winter, it is most likely energy from fossil fuels, which has a primary energy factor of 2.6, which means you need 2.6 kilowatt hours of coal to fill this car with 1 kilowatt hour. Same goes for hydrogen. The hydrogen at the gas station is likely from methane steam reforming. Quoting the Ministry of Ecology, the primary energy factor for that is 1.2, still half as bad as fossil electricity. The idea of hydrogen as an energy carrier is to use the excess power of the sun, right now it's July, to convert the electricity or whatever energy to hydrogen and then use it whenever we need it. Of course you can say, I don't have a hydrogen refueling station around me, but we developed the VOLKS-ELECTROLYZER just to show that with a minimum investment it is possible to have a home refueling station. Efficiency. Yeah, I talked about that earlier. Mr. Musk was right about the efficiency. In summer, this Tesla Model S uses 18.7 kilowatt hours for 100 kilometers of transportation. Nobody talks about the efficiency in winter, but I found an interesting study about winter consumption from the German Automobile Club, which says that 29.7 kilowatt hours are used in winter. Quality of engineering. We have still metal parts here in this car, which is cool. What I like about Tesla is their guts to rethink automobiles, like the complete flat and closed underfloor, so aerodynamic, whereas the Toyota still has the uneven look from beneath. Both cars look absolutely beautiful. The Toyota has a bit more clearance for rough roads though. But honestly, there are two major drawbacks to the Toyota Mirai. It has no trailer coupling or towing hitch option. And there is no way to fold down the back seat to transport or sleep in the car. The Tesla has a camper mode where you can sleep in the car and watch a movie. I think that's pretty cool, isn't it? The Mirai's body is from good old steel, with optional corrosion. Whereas you won't see anything at the Tesla Model S under the hood other than the charging cable. Here you see this gorgeous piece of equipment containing the fuel cell, and yeah, it looks more or less like a engine. And see a little bit more of this gorgeous piece of equipment. Oh look, Webasto made in Germany. This must be the cooling the AC. We have a normal heat exchanger here, where the heat of the fuel cell is either exchanged with the outdoor air or is heating the interior like in a conventional car. So what do we have here? High voltage inside. This is maybe the DC-AC converter. The battery is in the back. Yeah, the motors are also in the back. So I don't know what exactly we hear here. Sounds like some kind of injection. Here only coolant for the fuel cell stack. There are 3 700 bar carbon fiber cylinders in the construction, holding 5.6 kilogram of hydrogen with impressive 184 kilowatt hours of energy stored. The reason for the unfoldable backseat is the 1.2 kilowatt hour lithium battery next to the single motor. With 134 kilowatt power, you reach top speeds of most highways worldwide. The air is filtered and pressurized through something like a turbocharger. Inside the fuel cell, the air meets the membrane of the fuel cell stack. On its opposite side, the hydrogen travels through the membrane to form water with the oxygen. Heat and electricity is the benefit. The coolant flows around every cell of the stack and must be quantified depending on the user's gas pedal behavior, like air and hydrogen alike. Amazing, isn't it? The technology of a Tesla is pretty thin. Under the hoods aren't really interesting things. The difference between winter energy consumption comes with the fact that even though the 3 motors of the Model S are liquid cooled, no heat can be recovered. I apologize for all car enthusiasts who like sports cars, because I don't talk about the power output and the maximum speed of the Tesla Model S. I totally respect the passion for cars. This is really like a car. It has no gearbox, but it drives pretty much the same. So there's something about this car which has a pretty... Listen to that sound! Ooh. I love it. 80 kilometers an hour. The acceleration is awesome. I love this sound. This must be like the ventilation system for the fuel cell. Let's say the air in pump, vent, however you call that. So that's what you hear when I accelerate like stupid just to get to the red light. The Tesla is so beautiful in a traditional way from outside and innovative inside. This car is full of gimmicks. You can see even the cars driving by on your screen. I don't know if it reacts on that, but yeah. Look at all these cameras. It might be not surprising to you that renewable energies intermit 40 degrees onwards and 40 degrees south onwards. Maybe Matt Farrell from the Amazing Tech YouTube channel, Undecided, will make a video about his autonomy with his Tesla roof Powerwall and the car. The Powerwall has approximately 15 kilowatt hours, while the car has a capacity of 100 kilowatt hours. You might see that the dream of autonomy and cheap driving is a myth. Renewable energies cannot deliver loads whenever the driver needs. That is why electric car drivers pay the most for the energy. To have a home refueling station. It doesn't mean that it automatically serves all you need for transportation, but it might serve as a dummy load for your renewables. And maybe you're lucky and you find a hydrogen refueling station around your place. I like this car. It's much more like a usual thingy. So you have to switch the car off and then push this button to mechanically open this nozzle, this refueling nozzle you have seen many times. So, and this is the pistol. It's quite cool. I think you see the condensation here. It might have been someone before me, and then as easy as that, you click it onto that and refuel it. For right now, €16.75. I think this is a cool spot. Let's check what technology is behind that. We see two huge cylinders. It can't be high pressure in my eyes. So what do we see here else? We see a lot of waste of heat by these cooling tables. So safety warnings, emergency switch, fire extinguisher, all over the place. And I guess this concrete wall is also for safety, all grounded. This is just a guess of mine, yeah? And this is middle pressure hydrogen, and in these bundles, this seems to be like two bundles in one from Faber, are 300 bar bottles. So as easy as that. If you have a truck, you go to the 350 bar nozzle, and if you have a vehicle like the Toyota Mirai here, then you go to the 750 bar nozzle. and you just wait until this procedure is over. It might take a little longer than gasoline. And now really strong. Yeah, this is so safe. It's kind of difficult. Anyway, done. So to sum it up, you pay 69 cents for the electric vehicle, whereas you pay 41 cents per kilowatt hour for the hydrogen vehicle. So hydrogen won. The primary energy factor of excess energy is 1, so you lose nothing and you gain nothing because you just use it. But the primary energy factor for electricity in winter is 2.6, at least from fossil fuels. So electric vehicles are not CO2 neutral. So the hydrogen car might also die from a dead battery, but an electric car will self-destruct itself. The seller said he has to ask his foreman if I can leave the car 6 months unattended, and they wouldn't suggest that more than 2 months. So the range of the Toyota Mirai is 650 kilometers, whereas the Tesla Model S has 600 kilometers. The Toyota Mirai is lighter, slightly smaller, and the price, which could be an argument, is mentionable 20,000 euro less than the Tesla Model X. So also price-wise, the Toyota Mirai won. But I think for what the Toyota Mirai won the most is it is a car, it is an engine, it is engineering, it is fine art, it is the top technology, it is the future technology, and it is cutting edge. To master a fuel cell in a way that it works so charming, like in this car, I don't reckon anything, is beautiful. We can have hydrogen for almost free, just from excess power, and this car just feels like a car. And it has only 130 kilowatt power, which makes you drive less than, I think, 200 kilometers an hour. But who cares? Look, I cannot even pass the bicycle here. So what do I need several hundred kilowatt of power? That is just nonsense, because all we know is E is energy, and Einstein said E is equal to m times c square, where m is the mass and c is the acceleration. So if we have a powerful motor and we accelerate a lot, the energy quadruples. And in times where we have to convert from a very rich energy form to a less dense energy form, I think we shouldn't think about power as a reasonable thing. But of course, still, if you are a car enthusiast, I'm happy for you if you have a powerful car. I don't wanna take your pleasure. If we get back to the beginning of this video, that mobility serves getting from one point to another in a comfortable way, we should take trains into account. I will now show you some alternative modes of transportation to a personal car. I'm happy that I am allowed to travel by train in this country where we have this comfortable mode of transportation, and it's a great way to travel. Why I can make this video and there's somebody driving me, it's a very time-saving journey. So my most wasteful solution could be a hydrogen cap flat rate. like this lovely looking lady obviously has. But let's get back. The reason I tell you this is from a renewable perspective, we need a shift in transportation and mass per person. And that should not mean suffering or horse carts. Autonomous driving could bring more comfort and less personal cars, like this mobility solution idea from Volkswagen's sister Moja. They are driving around Hamburg like crazy right now to make sure it's safe. There are many ways of mobility, like this car sharing. I get to A to B. Is that a mode of transportation? This car has more combustion engine switches, touch things better than the Tesla Model S. Just in point of usability, this is a car sharing car. So how nice is this? In German we call it Knutkugel, which literally means kissing bubble or kissing ball. Yeah, I think they have all the Citroën and everyone has now one of those urban mobility vehicles, which are of course more efficient and totally enough for dry transport in the city. So now comes my personal opinion. I would never buy a heavy car for personal transportation. And that's my explanation why. On this graph, I put the modes of transportations over time, just skipping the horse wagons. The bike in the early 19th century was a revolutionary invention which allowed us with 15 kilograms of engine or bike per person, we could drive with 1 kilowatt hour with our 100-watt power, which is very healthy to use it from time to time, 100 kilometers. So this was very good. But of course, we were striving for more comfortable ways to travel. And here comes the Ford Model T, the first production car, which was revolutionary because then also bike drivers could afford cars. It was very light because it was very basic. It was a 5-seater, but yeah, we take the 1.5 persons per car. I don't know how it was back then, but anyway, it was very inefficient with 100 kilowatt hours or 10 liters of gasoline equivalent per 100 person kilometers. So it was very inefficient, which we see here in orange, the kilowatt hours per 100 person kilometers. And then came the average cars like the Model S, the Mirai, which had like 20 kilowatt hours per 100 person kilometers and a weight of 2,000 kilograms. So they were absolutely nonsense. If you have 1,438 kilograms per person of vehicle, of course you have AC and all the convenience you can load in your family or not, but it's very inefficient. And I want just to remind you that back in 1990 we already had a car which was a 3-liter diesel engine, which was very small and light, which had 15 kilowatt hours per person and 100 kilometers. So there was no improvement between, let's say, 1919 and 2024 in case of mass, because if we go back to Einstein's equation, which was E equals mass times acceleration square, then we could go down with the mass to reduce the energy consumption, but as we had the gasoline just being pumped out of the ground and we had it all, we went on a tangent, which is no accusation. We went up with the mass and we want powerful cars. So this car in 1990, no one bought it. I talked to car sellers and they said, yeah, it was a nice example for energy efficiency, but actually no one wanted a small, light, non-comfortable car. But now, if we want to convert from 10 kilowatt hours per liter of volume to 0.003 kilowatt hours per liter volume of hydrogen, non-compressed, then we should think of reducing the mass. And actually, we already did this because the ICE, the Shinkansen, or the TGV, which are just a couple of examples of very fast and comfortable trains in this world, have a weight about 400 tons, I think, and can take up to 1,000 passengers, which sums up to 400 kilograms per person and an efficiency of 12 kilowatt hours per 100 person kilometers, which is very comfortable because I can drink a coffee in a train and I can go to the toilet. Only camper cars could do that, and not even while they're driving. So in my eyes, this is the most comfortable, fastest way of transportation. For the short distance, I'd like to have shared bikes at every station. And if I have once in a while to buy something from Home Depot, I want a car sharing car, and I want to increase the efficiency in terms of used space per drive. Then I can drive with a heavy car and load it up so that I have a better quote of usability and potential of the vehicle. If you share that opinion, please give us a like. If you disagree with this idea of reducing weights and going down a little bit of non-necessary comforts, then please leave us a comment down below and tell us what we engineers can make better. Anyway, this was a very long video and you are the 1% maybe who watched this to the end. So I thank you very much for your curiosity. Give us a like, subscribe. See you next time.